Kelly, what are you doing with Todd?
I'm walking the show, the IFPA show.
Come on, let us walk.
Okay.
So, IFPA Global Produce Show, presumably you guys have been here before, numerous times.
Numerous times, over 20, 25 years.
At least.
Okay. And you're both very well travelled. Is this the show to go to within America, globally?
This is the one, this is the must attend every year.
Yeah.
We also have a lot of smaller regional shows that can be much more intimate for talking with direct contact with the consumer or the audience that whoever you're targeting. But this is the big show. This is the international. This is where everybody shows up every year.
And you get a full aspect of the industry. So you not only have fruits and vegetables, but you've got packaging, you've got transportation, you've got machinery, you've got innovation. You have ag technology and all this under one roof. So therefore, you can get from A to Z, you can see a lot of what's going on, even in aspects that you're not involved with. You can go learn from this or learn from that or see maybe what they're doing in South America that you didn't know that they were doing elsewhere. So it's really kind of a cool concept to be able to get everything under one roof.
And there was this thought that post the drumroll pandemic that these shows, that they might actually morph into something else. They might be more virtual than face-to-face. But this just seems to be in a hiatus of 2-3 years and then we're back to normal. So do you think these shows are always going to have a place, especially within Fresh? Kelly?
You still need the direct eye-to-eye contact, shaking the hands, hugging, saying hello to friends, saying hello to new friends. That's not going to go away. That's the human condition.
Yeah, Todd?
Yeah, this business is so relationship driven. I don't see how you can survive a trade through a platform like Zoom. It's not going to happen. You've got to be able to touch and feel what it is. You've got to be able to see people, have that face-to-face contact. I mean,
I'm also picking up that within America, it is even more face-to-face than, say Europe. There does seem to be another level of relationship with suppliers and buyers in the States, and I think actually happens with the likes of the UK and Europe. Why would that be? Why is America different? Is it because America's basically four countries? Because the whole spread of it's such a large area, so there's got to be that more direct communication. Kelly?
Yeah,
that's a great question. That's a great question.
It is a great question. I think it's people just need to be able to get out and see each other, and this is one of the last industries where deals are still made with a handshake. You have your contracts and you have your proposals, but there's a lot of relationships here that are still a handshake deal, and people hold up on both sides.
Okay, and now the sector as a whole. Catherine Burns had her State of the Union speech yesterday. She was very positive about the future, but there's a lot of work to be done across whole areas, being technology, being leadership, being sustainability. Todd, do you think this sector is a positive sector to be aligned to, or are there some pretty big challenges that we've all got to face?
Well, that's a broad question, Max. Yeah, I think it's an important sector to be in, right? We all got to eat, right? So it becomes, how are we going to get invested in our food? But when economies change like they've done through this pandemic, innovation starts to happen. People start to morph and change. And now you're having to pay attention to what's going on. So ag technology, for instance, what they're doing today, in 5 years, who knows what that'll turn into. So we've got to be vested in that. So this is a great opportunity to come and understand what's happening today, but again, what they're doing today may not be what happens in 5 years. And so I think you've got to be at the forefront of that. And your point you raised earlier, people want to be at these events. They want to learn. They want to see people, to Kelly's point about building relationships. It's like the asylum door is open and they're seeing the sunshine for the first time, and so they're running towards it. And I think it's really important. So I think shows like this always have value to give back. Right? I mean, people talk about the expenditure, what it is, and flying to snap. You go to a booth and you see somebody, you get that handshake, you put that deal together. That cost that you put out goes out the window because you're building your business in such a positive manner. So I think it's incredibly important that these events continue, and I think IFPA has done a great job coming out of the chute after a few years hiatus. There seems to be a high level of excitement. It's not quiet in here, that's for sure. There's a lot of gabbing going on. So I think it's super, super positive.
Kelly, in the various conversations that have been held in the speeches, they're talking about how we're in our zeitgeist at the moment, fresh produce, that we can save the planet, literally, that we can save the planet by getting people to eat more fresh produce. We're going to be healthy by eating more fresh produce. Do you think that's a realistic goal? That's something we should aim for?
I think it's a realistic goal. Yeah, the strategy is the question and how you go about it. And I think instead of just telling people, we were talking about this yesterday, that instead of just telling people it's nutritious, you should be feeding yourself nutritious foods all the time, it doesn't resonate. You have to talk about experiences, and you have to talk about flavor profiles. I mean, that's big. That's what's going to attract people, and that's what's going to get people to go in that direction more.
And isn't that the issue that we've got as a sector globally? We all love it, we're all passionate about it, but everyone else doesn't really know much about it.
Right.
6 out of 10 kids in the UK don't know where fresh produce comes from. So how do we educate them globally as to where fresh produce comes from, the story and the taste? It's a comment rather than a question, because I think everyone is fighting over that quandary. Go on.
Yeah, I think we have spent a little bit too much time talking about, if you don't do this, something bad will happen to you, right, with your health. And when you talk about saving the planet, let's start with our health. That changes so much of the dynamic of this planet. If our health is better, our food diet is better, all of that. So I think we need to start talking more specifically about why is that blueberry so important to our life, and less about whose blueberry it is, and start to get people to recognize at an early age. In this country, 14%, only 14% of the breakfast cereals have fruits on them in the morning. That's a very untapped marketplace if you think about it. So why is that? We need to start analyzing those questions and realize that there's an opportunity there to drive consumption, which ultimately is good for this planet, because if we make it good for people's health, it resonates back to the planet's health as well.
It comes back to the same thing, Kelly, collaboration. So on that example, if we're collaborating with the FMCG suppliers of cereals, that would be a win-win, rather than trying to do our own social media posts about blueberries that
Correct.
perhaps won't have a big audience.
Yeah, you have that big of an opportunity, and if you can literally change 10% of the population to put fruit on their breakfast cereal one time a week, that's a great opportunity to build a customer base that didn't exist. And excuse the pun, it's very low-hanging fruit.
Right. Yeah. Well, and there shouldn't be the animosity between the cereal producers and the fruit and vegetable producers. They should be working together, collaborating, like you're saying.
Driving societal change globally, starting off in Orlando.
Right, exactly. Started right. You saw it here first.
Kelly, favorite fresh produce?
Oh, right now I would say mangoes.
Todd.
Bacon.
Of course.
And you, Max?
There's also avocados.
Avocados.
Those are pretty good too.
Yeah.
Well done, Tim. You're brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.